Hello everybody, we've got TD8 in front of us and my webcam and lips should be synced up this time, so let's enjoy. I'm playing with the one, the only, the relative, ping pong, and this was during my Minotauro grind. I've since got the tank and I've really have enjoyed it, although I'm tired of driving something that only goes 30 kilometers an hour. So moving forward, I am really looking forward to playing something faster. I even picked up a T57 Heavy out of some pure nostalgia. The SMV CC67 is a great tank if anyone is thinking about grinding the line. I totally do recommend. It's really an enjoyable vehicle to play, and we'll see here that it does quite a good job. The mission that we have in front of us is to do 4 times the HP of the vehicle. We get 1300 HP, that's no small task. The heat has great pen, that's what makes this line so good. 300 pen on a tier 8. Chef's kiss. That's almost as good as the Su 130 PM, but we're not Russian, so what can you do? It hull downs extremely well from a profile standpoint. This is all that they have to look at. It's almost impossible for them to get through the turret. And right here, we're just going to play peekaboo. At this point in the game, I'm just happy with the map. I'm really happy with the pen on the T29. We're not always that lucky, but in this case we are. And then that one punches right around the manlet. It's at this point in the game where I'm realizing that if I do well, then I've actually got a shot on my mission. I've got 2,000 damage out in 2 minutes and 20 seconds, give or take. So instead of staying at this corner with the 29, we're going to end up poking around the middle. Spoiler alert, we don't stay here the rest of the game. If you're trying to do tons of damage, you can't sit here and trade with a guy with 500 HP. And eventually, I learned that. We back way out, and we go take a little exploration trip down the middle. Our second friend, the other poor T29 in this game, is going to be our victim. We're plotting on him right now. No punish on the cross. What's really cool with this tank is that the clip damage is always surprising. You know, you're punching out basically 400 damage a shot, and it's just really nice in these engagements. He's going to struggle to pen me. I don't even think the Black Prince can pen me frontally with gold. I don't think so. We look for an engine brew there. Don't get it. That's okay. And it's an easy almost 3K now, 4 minutes in. A lot of the way to get the monster games is if people are struggling with this or they've just maybe haven't thought about it, is you need your team to not be very great. And you need the enemy team to also not be very fantastic. If your team is good, and I don't want to waste a shot on the Black Prince here, so I want my damage. I was hoping for a bump ram. Now we'll end up forcing a reload, and what I'm wanting to do is ignore the mutant, because he's going to be so hard to farm. He's going to be hold down. He's going to hassle me, and I want to come around into these 3 tanks. I'm at 3,400 damage. I need about 2,000 more to get the mission, and there's no way I'm going to do it chasing a mutant. Absolutely zero chance. But we do need some shells. We need to get reloaded. Their poor SMV 56 is over here. He's our next victim. Really cool tank for tier 7. Fantastic. I mean, really an excellent tier 7. He even gives it an angle. I gotta respect this guy, and you know, my shot missed. That's the trolliness of these guns. They're just not accurate. As much as I like the Minnow, I'm looking forward to playing something that is less derpy from an accuracy standpoint. Now, I decided to come around on this way because I still want to pressure the 28, and it looks like the mutant's gonna die. 269 HP. I've got 4 heat rounds left. I've got those for the 28, and this is where things start to get just a little bit spicier. Easy low plate pen. We're gonna make sure he has to go over the terrain. He can't go all the way down on us. Second pen, very cozy. What's awkward now is that the mutant is gonna poke on us, and he can pen. He's got a great APCR round. Let's see. Yep, and he's using it there. Thankfully, we do get the T28 finish. Pretty big mistake. Probably my first big mistake this game, because I don't realize I only have 1 round left. So now I'm sitting here spending 10 seconds reloading, and I've only got one heat round in the pipe. Pretty awkward, if you ask me. However, I'm really close on the mission. I failed this mission before by a shot, part of a shot, and I'm really thinking this is my time. All I need is 5200. I'm at 5173. To be fair, my bad rolls on the other CC 56 or whatever they call it, the tier 7, that could have been it. That actually could have been my damage. The mutant's not. I move in. There's tons of HP on the board. If I don't totally potato, I pull up to the 112. We're aiming. I bounce right there. It's a little bit stressful. I'm not going to lie. It's a little bit stressful. Just one more shot needed. Of course, we know the answer to how this goes because I'm posting it on a video. We know I'm going to hit the shot. Which one is it? It's not this shot. That's a total donk shot by me. And I know that going in, but I'm worried he's going to poke me. Thankfully, the Viper decides to donate. We get the mission. We get a completion with honors because we're going to survive. We're going to win. Whew. And this mission that I tried to do, even in tanks like the Hellcat, which should have been easier and absolutely wasn't easier, is done in a tier 8 with 5600 damage. Really fantastic game for me. I was thrilled to get it done. I'd been working to get this one done. So finally having an opportunity and knocking it out of the ballpark really made me happy. And all it took was a team that wasn't very good, but wasn't terrible. If we'd been getting steamrolled, I wouldn't have survived long enough to do it. I was playing the 60 TP on the test server earlier, and it's the same kind of situation. I have heavy tank 15 that needs doing, and you need 12,000 combined. And without even trying, I got 11,000 combined on the 60, but it's because the game was close for a while at least, and then we ended up getting run over. But that tank is so trolly against heat rounds. It's beautiful. Almost 8,000 blocked, 3,000 done, and then I'd also taken damage, so pretty cool. Moving forward, we've got TD9 in front of us, and we will be on steps when that loads up. Perfect. We've gone backwards in time. If you notice, we're now in the tier 7. I didn't keep it, so we definitely went backwards. It's a great tank. Now, TD9 is 5 armor penetrating hits in a row. This is one that you definitely do, mostly on accident. You get 3 or 4, decide to hold your fire on the last one until you get a high quality shot. I like this map, and I particularly like it on Encounter. On Standard, I'm not such a big fan of steps anymore. What I love about Encounter is it forces the fight, and since your team knows sort of kind of where the fight is, you don't get blown up from this spawn, at least by the TD sitting in that corner. What you'll see is that, not only do I miss that shot and force a reload, you'll see is that their team doesn't realize that the fight is going to be in the east. So it gets a bit wonky here. They've got a mismatch in the west. Good thing I've got a pro Oni driver. There's our first pen. And we just absolutely mad lad smash these guys. The T57 is our next victim. This train has 0 brakes. I don't even get to shoot him. If you're wondering what's a good tier 7 to farm in, it's this tank. It's beautiful. It looks cool. It's got a great turret. It's got -8 or -10 depression. It's really, really enjoyable to play, to be honest. It doesn't really have any weak spots. And you get this kind of weird spotting damage on the whole line like I do here. Notice it's the SMB that shoots me here. We've got 1,000 spotting on the tier 9 TD. The only reason is we were one of the only tanks, maybe not dumb enough, but goofy enough, confident enough to just push straight up. And there we have it. 4 pens in a row. 1 on a T54, 1 on a Tiger, 1 on a Waffle, 1 on a T20. We only need 1 to go, and then completion with honors is actually 3 destructs. I'm at 1, so it's possible. This guy is playing it in a really awkward position. I over-roll up, mistake by me for sure, but with APCR going through the side, it's no problem. He has no side armor. That's the nice thing about the tier 7 is it's still using 220 pen, I think, 212. 212 APCR, and its standard is 175 for 320 damage. This is better than any tier 7 heavy, in my opinion. 1200 HP, tons of HP. Really, really, really excellent tank. So if you're wondering what tier 7 to farm with, now that the T20 or T29's slightly less OP, and maybe you don't want to run the 90 with full gold, just literally get one of these. That's all you need to do. And in the middle of that giant aim time, the game's over. We win. We've got our 5 pence. Easy, easy peasy. TD10 coming up. These missions kind of flew when it got to the Italian TDs because a lot of them are pretty straightforward to do. I do not have TD15 done though. Gotten close a couple times. TD15 is 5,000 or 6,000 damage and 5 kills. I've gotten quite a few 5k games, so it must be 6,000, but not 5 kills. That's a limitation for me there. So not really happy to do it in the minnow. It's a pain. It's a great tank, but it's so slow. I'm wishing I had a 2684 for something like that. Would be really good. It's not great to snag kill shots with the Minotauro due to the intra clip and then the lower alpha as a tier 10 TD, but anything that hits for 500, 600, then it gets quite a bit easier to snag those kill shots. Now this mission, 3,000 damage while remaining unspotted. Shockingly difficult for me. I've played this line very aggressively. You're basically a pseudo heavy in my opinion. What I end up doing here, and I got some good advice from my friend Hans, which you've seen us do a couple videos together, is just to camp. And I dislike camping. I don't like to camp. I don't like to camp in tier 10 TDs. Some of it's to my detriment. In this case, though, we start off the game with such a nice lucky shot on the concept. This whole game is me trying to hit these slim shots, and the Minotauro is not very great at it. He pokes again. We don't hit anything. And that's a little bit of the problem with this tank. Thankfully, a little over poke. Now I'm up 1,000 damage. I mean, that's the beauty of the gun. Every 7 seconds, we're able to pop out, or every 8 seconds, another round. So if they poke, we're gold. Getting trolled by the heat there a little bit. It must have gone in the front cog and not penetrated. That's a real complaint for me with this whole line. If they'd given him APCR, it would have been a lot better. And I think a lot of us expected the Minnow to be pretty OP on release. I know I did. I mean, I grounded out. I actually think the tier 7, the tier 8, and the tier 9 were all better per tier than the Minnow is. I don't regret having it. I mean, I needed a 10. Heck, I have like 3 tier 10s otherwise. But the 7 especially is broken, which we saw in a video already. And then the 8 and the 9 are just, you know, they've got great pen. They're scary per tier. The Minnow is so easy to isolate due to its speed. Cool thing here for us is we've actually got a 1390 over here. He's doing a great job spotting. And I'm just camping it. Haven't penned my last 3 shots. We're just going to keep camping it. Once I got 1,000 damage, I knew it was probably possible for me to get the mission done. And I don't move. Spoiler alert. We just sit. If I was in a grill, this would be perfect. Literally anything that doesn't have like 0.4 accuracy on a tier 10. It's a huge drag to have a tier 10 with such terrible accuracy. I think it might be 0.38 with improved aiming and everything else. Now, thankfully, that 114 is huge. It was an absolute house of a tank, and he gone. Easiest palm of my life. The game is pretty close now, too. My hope is that we'll eventually have these guys push us in the forest, and that's part of the beauty of the Minnow as well. We are extremely strong if they push at any kind of bad angle, position, anything like that. So we're in a great spot. If they don't push, though, I just end up being stuck here the whole time. Car Future up there with the Sturve basically simping for him. We sneak another one in, and we're at 2072. We're getting so close on a mission that I genuinely couldn't do for days because I just never sat in the back that long, which is not a flex. Actually, it would have been better in some of my games if I had sat back further. Spoiler alert, we'll even see some of that here. So sitting back, if you're not brainlessly sitting on the red line, can be pretty competitive. And for me, refusing to sit back and utilize other aspects of my tank besides aggression, besides the armor, is actually a mistake. So it's an area that I'm looking to improve on. It's just not as fun for me, especially with a tank that's not accurate, like the Minnow's not. You know, Scorp G, I don't really have that problem. I love the Vipera. I'm doing really well in that tank, really enjoy it. And it's not a sniper either. I keep hoping I get a VZ shot here. I don't. I get really lucky on an S-Conk, though. I mean, to me, really lucky on that shot. The game's kind of devolved, though. We're down about 5,000 HP, which sucks. No way around it. The VZ gives up another 500 to me, and then we're starting to mop this side up. No finish on that guy, though. Really disappointing. 478, and now on a mission that I couldn't get for days because I couldn't get 3,000 unlit. I'm at 3,600. Now that's just the difference in deciding. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna wait for them to make a move, which is, it took more self-control than I have. That's really what I should be doing right here too. I should just continue to sit in the bush. You're gonna see a mistake that happens. Full disclosure. Because the char moves up, and what I'm hoping, and now that the HP has normalized, is that I'm going to be able to come up here, grab a ridge, and shoot into the west. I'm not worried about the 114. The CS was low. The future was low. So we go ahead and move up with the char. What's unexpected is that the 114 is now moved into the 7 line, and the char gets penned. So, okay, there's a 114 there. It's not the end of the world. Let's see how we do. Now, I'm lit. Very uncomfortable. And this kind of engagement is awful for me because I actually don't want to poke around. The GW Tiger's already aiming there. And the Super Conk does a super good job of just punishing me. I mean, really well. And I think a bit misplayed by me. If I didn't realize I wasn't going to be able to get any of these shots, like that one I really thought I was going to rock back down to the lower plate, I would have committed around. Now I'm stuck. Now I have to commit to help him. The CS is behind me. I'm going to go all the way over the top. And now the 114 bounces, and I'm dead. Totally avoidable if I camp here. Do we win the game by camping it out? No. Probably we don't. But do we have a better chance than pushing up? Yeah, we do. At the same time, I don't think there was a reason to expect the S-Conk and the 1114 or 114 to be there. So it's not the end of the world to me, but it is disappointing. It's a good example of where I kind of need to change and grow. Still, TD10 is done. Hidden Menace is completed. 3,000 damage. Done. Next and last up for us will be TD11. You guessed it. 9, 10, 11. Crazy progression, I know. Be TD11. Let's see what that mission is. I keep thinking TD15 will just happen as well, but I need to get good, I guess, to get that done. The 55A is coming along beautifully, though. I've been working on about a month and a half now. I think that's about right. Month and a half. And I've got all my medium tanks done. All but 2 of my heavies done. All but TD15 done. And I need a few more light missions. And I'll skip the arty on this and then probably go back and do it later. But I don't want to hassle with having to do the arty right now. So, here's what we're looking at. TD11. Be the top player by damage caused. Also do at least 3k. Survive if you want it with honors. We are back in the glorious tier 8 SMV. Also the tank we do 5,600 damage with. Although where that happened chronologically, I'm not sure because I did some of the missions out of order in a way that I felt like was going to be a little easier to get done. This is a game that starts extremely, extremely slow. So we're going to speed it up just a tad. One nice thing is our friend the VK is going to donate for the culture, helping me out with 415. This really is a great tank. Standard pen 226. How often can you say that? Nice 226 standard pen with an impenetrable turret, negative 10 degrees gun depression, and a 300 heat pen round. It's pretty nice. We're going to switch in the heat, try to get ready for the Jag Tiger. But again, this is a real slow game. We don't have any shots into the one line. I look for the Comet. We got nothing. He's sitting behind the buildings. He's not ready from his for his fall from the sky. The Jag Tiger, straight up miss. I mean, 0.4 accuracy. What are you going to do? Total whiff. No way to snipe him there. He keeps going. Absolutely, shell just donks. Totally. I mean, this is the disappointing part of this tank, you know? It's full aims. Zoomed in. BIA. Don't forget, we got BIA on the crew. We got nothing. Absolutely nothing. So instead of being up to 1200 damage, we're at 47. Long, 23.44 seconds to go here. We're hoping the ICOV's still there. Pretty soon, you're going to see us move up because our city's doing fine. It's pretty even, but we're doing fine. We're now up a little bit of HP. And I think a lot of that, honestly, is just due to the misplay by the JT. They ran out in the open pretty dumbly. I mean, I'm not going to say I would have done better than they did, but some of the crossings that they made didn't make a lot of sense. The other one was committed there down into the low ground on the one line. So for all of that DPM and HP, they didn't really do much with it. To be fair to a Jag Tiger player, though, or a Jag 88, their armor is pretty useless now, unless it's against low tiers. So I don't super blame them for that. Here we get lucky. We run into a free HP pinata, and that's really what you're going to find yourself thinking of tier 7s as. It's just free HP. You look at this guy, there's zero fear. He's never going to pen me from the front unless he gets extremely lucky as a beautiful low plate. Heck, even the Roomba bounces me. My guess is this is the Roomba or this is, and I don't know which. Because I think he might have gone through there. Now what's sad, that guy has a crazy reload. He already popped me. But we're at about 1600. I see a full HP 50. And now I'm kind of going, hey, there's a chance, you know. No one's gone totally bonkers this game. Boom. Nice pen on the 53. Loading, loading. Totally bounced that shot. An upsetting bounce even. Looks like it went real low on the frame. It's okay. We get 3 tries. This is the keep it simple stupid of tanks. Short magazine reload. Nice intra clip as far as if it was a standard firer. Now we've got a 50 TP that we get to attack. Because I'm seeing visions of possibility. In a match like this with a lot of 7s, there's not usually going to be players that are punching out more than 3k. Maybe somebody goes bananas, you know, and they do it. But most of the time, these games are going to be won by somebody with about 3k. Big shout out to Ron G. I do ask him not to shoot the FCM. He does me a huge favor. He doesn't shoot it. That puts me at 3143. Doesn't mean, though, that the objective's completed. Doesn't mean that I'm top damage here, unfortunately. But I've at least qualified with 3k. It's kind of nice that they have that in there. We give a little aim. Ooh. The shot flies true. I win this by about 20 or 30 damage. So that Roomba shot was actually necessary. Mike almost stole. I say stole the top damage from me there. So big thanks to my platoon mates for actually working with me on this last one. Most of the missions don't require platoon mates some that, in my opinion, kind of do are the light tank spotting missions without being able to have people guaranteed shoot what you're lighting. It's super frustrating. Yeah, you can wait for a random team on proc to do it or Malinovka. That's fine. For me, I would just rather platoon with a couple TDs or whatever and get it done that way. These are 3 missions that we knocked out of the park here. Really nice to get these done. Actually, 8, 9, 10, and 11 for us. So 4 missions. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll have these coming out in kind of a weird order. This is sort of a re-upload because it turned out the virtual webcam I was using was totally desynced, which is a bit disturbing to watch, is what I was told. So I am sorry about that. Hopefully this is a little better quality. Let me know if you have any other feedback on the videos. Any of my friends, the 5 of you that are actually watching these, thank you. I enjoy putting them together. I hope you at least enjoy watching them a little bit as well. And if you have feedback like, hey, get rid of the camera, move the camera, do this with the camera, or hey, do a different format, I'm more than happy to listen. My goal with this is really for it to be enjoyable to watch. And there's a long ways to go, I know, but if we can get there, even if 5 people are forever the only people that watch, if you like it, that will make me feel warm and fuzzy. So thanks for watching, everyone who does. Have a great day, and I'll see you with the next upload.